Hello students, welcome in our third session of our lesson My Elder Brother. Students, we have seen that the whole lesson in session before, right, in which we have seen that the love between two brothers and how elder brother advise his younger brother, right, and that affection between them, we have learned about that in our previous sessions. So today we are going to start a new session, and this is all about your question and answers of the lesson. Okay, so let's begin with the question number first. What are the things that Munna like to do? Munna is a, yes, younger brother, and Bhaiya is a elder brother, right? So what are the things that Munna like to do? Munna like to play games and fly kites. He also like to draw pictures of birds and animals. So these things actually Munna like to do. Okay. Then look at that question number 2. What did Bhaiya do all day? What did Bhaiya do all day? And students, the probable answer is the Bhaiya studied all the day. He was busy in studying every time. So Bhaiya studied all the day, and sometime he read books and sometime wrote the same word and sentences several times in order to learn them. Right? So that is the thing that Bhaiya did whole the day. Question number 3. Why was Munna not happy with the timetable that Bhaiya made for him? Why was Munna not happy with the timetable that Bhaiya made for him? And the answer is it was because Munna loved to play, but there was no scope for it and in the timetable, right? So Munna loved to play, but there was no scope, means there was no time to play in the Bhaiya's timetable for Munna, right? Look at that question number 4. How do you think Munna felt when his brother was so strict with him? Why was Bhaiya so strict with him? Let's see. Students, Munna felt very disappointed. Yes, we think that Munna felt very disappointed, and Bhaiya was so strict with him because he means Munna, was playful by nature and always wanted to play games like kabaddi, volleyball, etc. And therefore the Bhaiya was so strict with him and he wanted to study. Yes, okay. But look at that question number 5th. Whose character do you like more? That is Munna or Bhaiya's? Let's see. Here I have made the answer for you. I like Bhaiya's character more than Munna because he means Bhaiya. Bhaiya was a dutiful boy and knew his responsibility towards his younger brother. He also gave much importance to his father's hard earned money, and therefore I like especially Bhaiya's role or his character, right? Okay, look at that next question. Let's talk question number 1. Do you have a timetable at school? Yes, we have. How many periods are there for the following subjects and activities in 1 week? So the answer is maybe you have 6 periods in a week for English, 5 periods for Hindi, maybe 5 periods for maths again, and 4 for science, 4 for social studies. There are 2 periods for games, 2 periods for art, and art and craft, music, dance, they have 1 period each, and for other activities there are 2 periods. Like that our timetable of our school has been there, right? So look at that question number 2. Now make a timetable for yourself including your study time and your play time. Student, I think you can able to do that. So this answer you have to write by your own, do it yourself, right? Make a timetable and follow it properly. Okay students, so let's begin the next question. Creative writing, right? It is the question from the page number 72 and 73. Question number 1, look at that. Okay, the format of letter is given to you on that page. Okay, and after reading that letter, you can just answer the question. There are some questions are given in your text. Okay, so what are that questions are? Who has written the letter? If you read that letter properly, you can come across that that letter has been written by Pratap. So to whom has the letter been written? To his mother. Where is the writer of the letter? In hostel. And what is the name of his hostel? Krishna Boys Hostel. On which date was this letter written? It is on 10 July 2000. Okay, like that you can answer this question. Look at that next one, important question. Question number 2. Now write a letter to your friend or relative in another city, those who are in another city, telling him or her about activities and event in your school. Follow the same pattern. Okay, and look at that here. The one format for you is given, and look at that. Here, Apna Girls Hostel, Adarsh Vidya Mandir, Jaipur, 20th August 2011. My dear Survi. Okay, here the one letter format is given for you. You can write the same, or you can write your own letter to your relatives or your dear friend or your any cousin. Okay, so that follow this pattern only. So look at that. First of all, you have to write address in our left hand side, means all the letter you have to align left hand. Okay, so look at that. First of all, write the address, then date, and then greeting. Means if you are writing your letter to your cousin, then you can write my dear Surbhi and whatever the name are there. So my dear Surbhi, how are you? I am fine and pray for your well-being. Last week I was very busy with a poster competition. Okay, then it was organized by our school on occasion of 65th anniversary of India's independence. The students of 5 to 8 took part in this competition. They all praised to achievements of India during the period ranges from 1947 to 2011. I also made a fine poster of the freedom struggle and the sacrifice made by the freedom fighters. That was a great day for all of us. We enjoyed a lot. Rest is okay. Please do write back soon. Your loving friend Smita. Like that here, Smita wrote the letter to the Surabhi, and you can say there are two type of letters, right? And from which here we have written the informal letter, right? And formal letter means the letter you can write to the offices, your headmasters and all. Okay, that are called yes, that are called formal letters, and here there is a informal letter. Okay students, so let's go for further questions. Read the following messages and read and answer the question that followed. So let's first of all read the passage and then we will answer. Oliver was a 9-year-old boy. He lived with his other homeless boys is an orphanage. He lived with other homeless boys in an orphanage. So orphanage is the place where the boys and girls lived, those who didn't have their parents. He was pale and thin, as were the other boys living there. This was because they had to work hard but were never given enough to eat. The owner of the orphanage, Mr. Bumble, was a cruel man and he ill treated the boys. The boys were always hungry. It was true that they were given three meals a day, but each meal consisted only a bowl of water soup or watery soup. Means it wasn't thick. They were almost starving. So it was decided by them to ask the master for more soup. But bill but who would bell the cat? Finally, the task fell to Oliver. When all the boys had assembled in the cold stone hall, yes, for their evening's meal, the soup was served. It soon disappeared. The boys whispered to one another, and one boy pushed Oliver a little. Oliver, making a brave effort, stood up, walked up to the master with his bowl and spoon in his hand, and said tremblingly, Please sir, I want some more. Okay, so this is the whole passage about Oliver, the boy who lived in the orphanage, right? So let's see the questions on that passage for the comprehension. So look at that. Why did the Oliver live in the orphanage? Oliver lived in the orphanage because he had no home, right? Look at that next question. Who was Mr. Bumble? Yes, he was the owner of the orphanage. Okay, look at that next one. What meal were the boys given? They were given only a bowl of watery soup. Okay, look at that next question. Why did Oliver say to sorry? What did Oliver say to Mr. Bumble? Yes, Oliver said to Mr. Bumble that he wanted some more soup. Right? Look at that. The boys were given 3 meals a day. Then why were they always hungry? And the options are because the soup they were given was never enough, because they worked very hard all day long, and because the older boys drank up their soup. No. And the correct answer is because the soup they were given was never enough. It was very less in quantity, right? Okay. So look at that sixth question. Find the words from the passage that mean the same as. Okay. So the first word is very hungry, and second word is to vanish. Means you have to find out the meaning of you have to find out the word that means same as very hungry, and the word is starving. Which word is starving? And to vanish, it means disappear, right? So these are the two words. Look at that, starving and disappear. Then question number 7, look at that. All the boys assemble in the cold stone hall. Here the word assemble means what? Yes, and the options are moved away, collected, work together, and the right option is collected. They collect together, they gather together, right, like that only. Okay, question number 8. From the word assemble, remove the last two letters and one letter to make a word which means a time at the school when the whole school gathers. So the assemble actually converted into word assembly, where all the students of the school gather together before the school time, right? And they pray for God, they sung their prayers, they sang their national songs, national anthems too, right? Okay, so look at that question number 9. Give a suitable title of the to the passage, and that is Oliver in orphanage. So like that, students, in your exam also you would come across to the comprehension passage, means unseen passage. And you have to answer the questions that ask on that passage, right? So let's look out next question. Let's write. To learn means to understand or to gain knowledge. To teach means to show how or to explain. So complete the following sentences using the correct form of the teach or learn. So there are different forms of the learn and teach. Look at that. Learn become learns, learn in past, and has learned in perfect. So teach also become teaches in present, and also it becomes taught in past and has taught in perfect, right? So let's use the following forms of teach and learn in the proper. Okay, will you dot dot me chess? So the possibly or the probable answer is, will you teach me chess? Mr. Sharma teaches dot dot sorry, Mr. Sharma teaches class 8. This is Mr. Sharma teaches class 8, right? Then look at that. The student have dot dot about road safety. The students have learned. Yes, the students have learned about road safety. My sister has dot dot me how to ride horse. My sister has taught me how to ride horse. I have learned some of the customs of India, and I learned how to cycle when I was just 4 years old, right? So like that you can answer the following questions. Students, here the textbook introduces us different tenses like simple present tense, simple past, and perfect present and past, right? So we also can learn these tenses in our grammar sections too. Okay, so that look at that last question. Question number 2, choose the correct word and complete the paragraph. Means here into brackets some words are given and I highlighted that correct answers for you. Okay, so that look at that, all the class, we students of our class were gathering in front of the principal office. So among the where and was, the correct choice is where, right? Then they dot dot going for inter school race, so they were going for the inter school race. The bus dot dot and they dot dot for the stadium. The bus arrived and they left for the stadium. The runners actually were taken to the starting point. The runners were taken to the starting point. The runners dot dot their position. The runners took their position. So the correct choice is took. Sir dot dot the whistle. Sir blew the whistle. One student of our school ran fast and came first. Everyone did their best and our school won the trophy. Everyone felt joyous. Okay, so like that you can use simple past as well, continuous past in this para. Okay, so let's look out for the next question. Read the following sentences. Bhaiya has been studying in the same class for 2 years. For a period of time, means that period of time it's actually told by that sentence. Munna was flying kites since in the morning, from a time in the past till the present. Okay, so now fill in the blanks by using for and since. So let's fill the blanks. Okay, that we have seen that for and since have a different meaning. Okay, so that I have lived in this house dot dot I was baby. I have lived in this house, yes, since I was baby, means period of time is actually told by this sentence. This big jar has been in our family dot dot many years, for many years. This big jar has been in our family for many years. The old banyan tree in the village has been there for the last 200 years. So here for is the suitable one, and nobody has seen him since yesterday. Yes, so here the answer since it's suitable one. Okay students, so here all our questions and answers are finished from this lesson. Okay, write in your text next book, or you can see write you can these questions in your notebook also. Okay, so thank you very much for hearing. Take care.